Come on in. Say hi when you're here. If you have a question, you can ask your question. We have about 30 minutes to spend together this evening. Just did our weekly guidance video over on Facebook. Replay is on my YouTube. You definitely want to check that out. It looks like we're in for a very good week. Happy birthday. We'll see what Spirit wants to say, if there's going to be any messages coming in for anyone. Really been a very interesting week this past week with the new Chinese New Year, lunar eclipse, new moon energy. Things have been a little bit up and down. You guys may have also been disruption of sleep. There may be some irritability with communications, maybe some imposter syndrome coming up, kind of like feeling a little bit limited in your mind and in your life. All of this is very normal. But if you don't know, it's because of the cosmic events, you may be feeling a little dark and twisty, right? And so that's what's so amazing about having this information available to us. It doesn't veto us. It doesn't mean that we don't feel the things, but it makes sense, and it helps us hold compassion. I experienced that this week, been moody and frustrated, absolutely. Anytime there's like the shift, and it's so interesting because my brain is just so hardwired to be an optimist that every time, even though I've been doing this for over a decade, and I'm just like, oh my God, change season, so excited. And then it's like whiplash. And it's like the worst week ever. It's because I think I know that it's going to be worth it. It's always worth it in the long run. It's always bumpy. Change is just change, right? Change is bumpy. Anytime I do a session and I see change, I'm always so excited, but also change is never smooth. It's never smooth. So we definitely want to hang in there. Hang in there. Oh, okay. So, I don't know who I'm going to be going with. So I have this brother energy. So brother-like connection. It could be brother, stepbrother, brother-in-law, friend, cousin, bestie. There does seem to be, so he's snapping his fingers. There's also the letter B I want to reference. Snapping his fingers, showing me that it was a sudden or unexpected departure. But when he makes me feel this level of anxiety or nervousness energy, it usually means that there is, a story to be told and unexpected. I hear a lot of chatter, so his departure would have caused a lot of chatter within the community. Maybe even have made the newspapers or made the news because of the details around the departure. He keeps showing the question marks, and I see him laying there, so he may have been found after the departure, and we're trying to wonder what happened to him, and was there indeed foul play. Okay, so who can take this? Trisha, is this you taking this? How do we understand this? Megan says, I relate as well. Okay. I think so. I asked him that I was coming on to come through. Amazing. Okay. Killed overseas. Okay. So it's also interesting because there would have been some time, correct, Trisha? So piggybacking means that more than one soul can come forward at a time if they have similar information. Big time news at the time. Perfect. Because I do feel like I'm with you, but your own intuition, whoever is feeling aligned with the messages, your own loved ones are going to be using your own intuition. So I think that it's very important for you to have that validated for yourself. We all are here to hear what we are meant to hear. right? So whether the message is for you or it's inspiring a message or inspiring healing, I think that it is important for that to be validated. Yes, a few days, try to get him home, red tape, couldn't get him. Okay. What's so interesting as well, and I don't know what the context of this is, but I can hear him laugh because it's so interesting because he's so stern, but yet so jolly, right? So it all depends on what version of you got him, right? Or who he was around. And so the people who he loves and he trusts was very safe in this jolly and this very charismatic soul. But then there would be a lot of people as well that I would almost say would be afraid of him, thinking that he was like, resting bitch face or feeling like he was way more intimidating than he was, or that you know him to be. Okay, so this is just his way of giving me some information around that. He kept showing me bunny rabbit ears. And that is not one of my signs or symbols. So that must mean something to you that he's using as a validation, okay? Whether we just picked up bunny ears or there was an ongoing joke or we were just talking about Easter or we have a pet bunny or however you understand that, okay? So he is bringing it through as a validation. It's interesting because even though it has been some time since his departure, he makes me feel like it's very relevant when he shows me the calendar, which means it's either a departure date time, birth date, anniversary. We were just talking about him. We held something in his honor. There's something to do with the calendar as well that he wants to use as a validation. If you could just please let me know if you understand this or not. And so this is just his way of showing me that he's in perfect health. There's also even the sneaky suspicion of like, is this really what happened? Right? And he's so humorous himself. He goes, I will never tell. Right? And so he's very funny himself. And when they come through with their personality, and it's never I remember when I first started, I would be so fearful that I would be disrespecting someone. Right? But he's coming forward in a way of saying, like, just showing me his personality. Perfect. Thanks, Trisha. Show me his personality and show me that that he is okay. He also then brings me to a shelf or a mantle, and then he shows me this figure, right? And so this is my sign and symbol that we have something out in honor of him, that we connect to him, and that we honor and remind him and talk and include him. So again, his way of validating of the ways that we know. He also shows me the tattoo or the sketch, which is really interesting because I don't always say sketch, but he showed me a tattoo, almost like a black and white tattoo, but then I also see like a sketchbook. And so there's something to do with that, and that could be a dual message as well. It's so significant that I keep saying, I'm okay, I'm okay, I'm okay. And he also wants me to validate, and this may not be directly for you, Trisha, this may be for somebody else that's connected to him, where they have this feeling of survivor's guilt or this feeling of, I shouldn't have let him. Right? And so when he shows me that we have a dream, but we don't have, it's not a good feeling dream. We're having the visitation, but we're waking up maybe more confused or maybe even upset. Right? And so this is his way of saying, like, I'm coming to you. The visitation is real, but I'm helping you heal what's too big for you to feel here in the physical form. Okay? Meaning if we're feeling guilt, if we're feeling anger, if we're feeling helpless, if we're feeling all of that will go into the dream, and that can make us wake up and be like, that was weird, or that didn't feel good. He must be upset with me, or he must not be at peace. But this is his way. And again, with him coming forward in the beginning and joking so easily, right? It's his way of validating that he is okay, that he's safe, he's on the other side. He also wants to acknowledge the mother figure and just how gut-wrenching, because he just, the feeling in my gut-wrenching, right? So I'm here. And I think that is so important, and that he's okay. And there's such this fear of being like lost in translation or forgotten about. And he was like, never. Me, never. And again, just his way of showing me that he's in perfect health and that he's okay. And just wanting to make sure that we know, especially the namesake. So he does show me there's a namesake for him, a shared name, a form of a name, a nickname. But it is his way of validating. And again, acknowledging that he knows of the ways that we honor him and keep him close. It's like all he keeps on saying is that I'm okay, I'm okay, I'm okay, I'm okay. So somebody's worried that he's not okay. Or maybe he got quiet. Maybe we were getting a lot of signs and symbols from him at the time of his departure. And now that life is kind of moving forward and how he communicates is different. As we grow and heal, right? As we grow and heal, how we communicate, our intuition shifts and change. As they grow and heal, how they communicate and their intuition changes. And so we do always need to do a little reset if you ever go through a time where you're not feeling him. If you're not feeling him. That what's with the nose piercing? Sorry. Not feeling him, I always say to set the sign. Be like, hey, I really need the sign. I haven't been feeling you lately. I don't know if I'm missing it. Give me the dimes for the next 2 weeks. Right? And then also have me just want to acknowledge the nose piercing. So again, if we got it, if somebody's thinking about it, if there's a story behind it, it's again his way of giving me a validation, validating that I'm interpreting the messages correctly, but most importantly, that he's safe, that he's okay, and that he's with you. I'm going to leave that with you. Becky says, I lost my dad a few weeks ago. Is there anything he wanted to say before he passed but couldn't? Becky, now, I'm not 100% that I'm with you just because the comments were going so quickly. How does your dad connect to the lungs? So like the filling up the fluid or the restrictions in the lungs, pneumonia, COVID, heart failure? How do you understand that? You're so welcome, Trisha. Bit of a headache, so I'm gonna just dim the light a bit. Hey Janelle. Buff fluid. Okay, so he keeps still. Were you there? Was he have a fluid on the lungs? Okay, perfect. Just because he keeps putting on such this pressure and then making me feel like his breath was very audible. So those who were present may have been spooked or fearful that he was in pain. It's so interesting. Your dad's very nonchalant. Okay. He's very like, what's this all about? Right? And so it's his way of showing me that he's exactly as we know him to be. He also does show me that there was lack of communication for some time before he departed. And so he keeps saying, oh, I heard. So even if he wasn't able to respond or he wasn't himself, because I have a level of confusion as well. Sometimes that means dementia and Alzheimer's. Sometimes that means medication, right? And so this level of kind of fogginess in the head, this feeling like I can't respond, but I can hear the chatter. I know that people are there as well as thinking about me, connecting with me, because he's outside of his body, right? While he's outside of his body watching, that means that he's safe with spirit. Even though his physical body hasn't let him go just yet, this is his way, like this is how, there's grace, right? Our bodies are reacting and experiencing the dying process, but our soul is not. And we don't take that with us to the other side. And so there's all of this, like, in there, and he keeps going. He goes, there are no mistakes. There are no mistakes. And so if you have woulda, shoulda, couldas connected to his healthcare, his choices that ultimately led to his departure, Becky, can you just let me know that you're still here? This is his way of validating that he is at peace. He is at peace with the choices in the decisions that have happened before the departure, along with the choices and the decisions after the departure. Do you understand that, Becky? He also talks about a little bit of friction, right? And so maybe the family members weren't in agreement. Maybe we weren't on the same page with certain decisions or choices. A little bit of a friction is what he's making me feel. Don't feel as though that he is disappointed or that any friction within the family as they're grieving affects him in a negative way. Okay, Becky? So he really wants to validate that. Now, he also says to me, and this is something that sometimes we as humans is hard to hear, because souls, they go on the other side, they cross over, they do a life review of their life. They also do a life review of their life through the eyes of those who loved him. And he just said, I wasn't the dad that Becky needed me to be. And I said, I can feel her love for you. And he goes, yes, but she is more sensitive than I had the skills for. And shows me, Becky, you wear your heart on your sleeve. And I think he was a little zipped up, or he was a little dry, or he didn't quite know how to navigate that. Do you understand that, Becky? And so this is something that is very important for you to know, that he gets that, even though I can feel the love, right? And so it always makes me nervous, because sometimes people will bark back at me, be like, no, he was a great dad. I'm like, I understand that. But what he is saying is, look at his growth already, and it's only been a few weeks, that he can see, oh, you know what? Maybe I was a little bit stubborn in that way. Or maybe I treated her like one of the guys, right? And so there's this feeling of like, it's him showing the growth. Okay, it's him showing the growth and the healing and the peace and the contentment. So he also shows me that he was greeted by the mother figure. So is that your mother or his mother? So who would be the mother figure on the other side for you, Becky? His mother. Perfect. He also shows me a baby. Okay, so a baby who did not come into physical form. It could be a stillborn, termination, or miscarriage. It's his way to show me that all the souls are on the other side, and that they're all together and loving and guiding of you. He also references a big life decision as well, a sibling of his. Perfect. So to validate that they're all together, and then that was very healing for his mother as well. There's also the shaggy dog. So animals just walk by, right? So they can be living or departed. I would say it's some sort of terrier. It's kind of like, I see in black and white, but I would go like a salt and pepper type of color, more salt than pepper, or more pepper than salt. But it's just his way of bringing through the validations. He also supports you in this big life change, but you're questioning yourself, right? You're questioning yourself. He says it's all about the right time. Wait until it feels right, right? And so it's almost like we know that we know that the change is coming. It may not be the right time now. Wait till it feels right. We can still be nervous, right? But know that the timing is right. And so he says to trust that. He also references the birds. So to bring through the validation with the birds. Okay, so whether it's the crow, or it must be a crow because it's like, I keep looking out the window. I feel like I'm looking out the window and there's the bird and it's right there all the time. And so again, his way of validation, validating that he's okay, validating that he's with you. More importantly, that he supports all the decisions that you have made. So I'm going to leave you with that, Becky. Oh, you're welcome, honey. Who has the male heart attack? Who's connected to the male? Oh, I feel like there's two of them. So I'm going to say a partner, a brother, a contemporary. Okay, I'm going in two different directions. So I have a contemporary male, which means when they stand next to me, that's your brothers, that's your lovers, your friends, your cousins, your co-workers, heart attack. And then, no. Okay, father figure. Hang on. You guys are all talking to your loved ones at once. I have impact, so car accident, hit with something, male. And then I have heart attack, which is very similar for me. Okay, so Spirit uses all of my senses. So my sign and symbol for when somebody passes of a heart attack, it feels like somebody punched me in the chest. But also, my sign and symbol for impact is like getting hit in the chest. But I also feel like I have two different souls because they're coming in at two different ages. Okay, so let's see. Hang on. Oh, I almost closed out the whole app. Christy says heart attack. So who is this for you? Canadian East Coast, Lizzie. My father had a heart attack. Okay. We're going to go to the accident in a minute. I'm going to table this guy, the young male. Lizzie, I feel like I'm with you. Lizzie, how do you connect to the birthday? So I go back a month and ahead of month. So if we are in February, we're going January, February, March. Okay. And then Christy, that was a heart attack, your partner. Okay. Christy, you hang in here. I'm going to come to you next. March 13th. Perfect. His birthday. Perfect. So this is just his way of giving me a validation. I always ask Spirit, you have to validate that I have the right person here and that I have the right soul there. Okay. It's interesting are you a big decorator? Do you like to decorate for every season? So like we're big on, decorating for Valentine's, decorating for St. Patrick's, Easter, that type of thing. Or have you been perfect? And then how do you connect to the couch as well? Did we just get a new couch? Do we have his old couch? Were we out shopping for couches? How do you understand the couch? Because all he said to me, he was like, oh, isn't her house so nice? It's always decorated so nice. And then he goes, in the couch. Shopping for couches. Perfect. His way of validating that he's with you, that he never truly left. Okay. It's really interesting. And so was it you that found him after the heart attack? Or when he has me replaying the image of him laying there, that is my sign and symbol that you or someone else in the family replay that it plays in our head. Sometimes, in which I feel like is even worse, is not being there. And our imagination gets way out of hand. And so he keeps showing me this image of him laying there, hopeless and helpless, right? And so this is, whether this is for you all the time, he was found at work. Okay, he needs you to release that. Oh, he makes me like I want to cry. Because that belief of he didn't deserve this, he wasn't, he was scared, he wasn't okay, he was alone, all of that is preventing you from healing. Listen, I'm telling you, your dad is a rig. Okay, he goes, I didn't even fucking know what was happening. He didn't even know. He's showing me, he has a female, a motherly figure. He also has a male already passed, and him standing there outside of his body, looking at his body. Therefore, no fear, no suffering. Okay? That's him, that he would say that. It's so important that you know that. Okay? He's saying before I even knew what was happening, I was already safe on the other side with a motherly energy and then like a brotherly energy. So this could be his mother, his grandmother, stepmother, mother-in-law. And then this brotherly energy feels like a brother or like uncle, like that type of great uncle, friend's dad, like that's the energy. So he's showing me that he was well taken care of right from the get-go, that he wasn't afraid and he wasn't confused on the other side. Okay. So how do you connect to the tattoo? So do you have the multiple tattoos? Because he's like, there's more than one, Ange. There's more than one. So make sure. So is it you that have the tattoo, or multiple people have the tattoos as well? Are you thinking about getting another one? Perfect. And so you have the tattoo. This is his way of validating, knowing of the ways that you honor him and keep him close. And listen, because your dad is so funny. Okay, he's so funny because he goes thinking of a new one. So know that he knows. It's never pressure that you have to go out and do it, right? It's just him saying, listen, I know the ways that you honor me and keep me close. Okay. He also says as well, oh, hang on, I lost that because he moved me to the sun. Do you have the sun? How do you understand the sun? Because he keeps drawing a line, which means 3 things to me. Okay. Yes, all these readings are free. When they draw a line from him to the sun. Perfect. So how do you understand the sun as in like young child, like boy? That's crazy that he had me write that. That was very good. Very good, Dad. Are you guys newfies? We sang a song to my son about the sun. Perfect. So he draws the line. See, he's talking so freaking fast. Okay. He draws the line from him to your son. Okay. Just because, and I ask because he has a bit of a PEI. He has a bit, I'm a caper. He has a bit of a little accent. And that's why I said, are you a newfie? Where's this coming from? He just has the tang. But yes, back to that. See, I just write myself little notes to come back to it. Yes, he did. Perfect. When he draws a line from him to your son, that means 3 things. Your son is either named after him, some form of a name or nickname, he looks like him, or he has the same type of personality. And he just keeps saying, as your son grows, you're going to see so much of me in him. That is by design. That is a gift from your dad to let you know that not only is he there with you, but that he protects your son and he watches over your children. Okay? And it's so important that you know that he is not personality. It's so important that you know that he's not missing out on any of this. Okay, so when he hangs a stocking with his name on it, that's my sign and symbol that you include him in your holidays. That it's very hard for you and that you make sure you do something special with him to make sure that he's still part of your holidays and still part of your traditions. And he says, thank you for that. Okay, every year. Perfect. It's so interesting because I don't know if he's making fun of you or if he's making fun of your mom, but he says, tell them that I see all the clothes in the closet with the tags on it. No secrets now. And sometimes that means that's an ongoing joke. Sometimes that means he was frugal. Whatever that means, you know it. And he's just like, I see it. Oh, he gave me the goosebumps. It's so important for you to know that he's okay. And he says that you have to stop trying to honor me and do me right. You living your life is honoring me and doing me right. You including me at Christmas, because there's almost this feeling of like, I'm not doing enough, but like, girl, you're busy. You know what I mean? Sometimes he was frugal and I have all the clothes in the closet with the tags. There you go. Telling me something that there is no way that I know about you, a stranger on TikTok, right? There's no way that I would know that. That's his way of saying, I'm here with you, I'm here with you, I'm here with you. I'm so scared to forget him. You're not going to. You're not going to. And I'm going to tell you this because he says that there has been moments where you did forget that he was passed. And you got so upset with yourself. But you have to understand that's a gift. It's a gift. Okay? It means that his soul is so present that with your soul that it tricks your brain to forgetting that he's not in physical form. The only thing that is different is that he's not in a body. He's still there all the time. He holds the memories. He holds the love. He's forever eternally connected to you. He's just not, he was a soul in a body. Now he's a soul out of a body. That's the only difference. And so he doesn't want you to ever feel like he's not there. Okay. Or that he'd be doing something else. He's like, I got nothing to do. I got nothing but time. Right. He also references socks. I feel like he has a funky big toe because he keeps wiggling one toe, big toe at me. So I don't know if he had like a clubbed toe or that there is something funny about his toenails. And then he also shows me that we still have his the socks, but we still have his shoes. Okay, so somebody still has his shoes. This is his way of validating, boom, boom, boom. Here's all these things that Angela does not know about me, to validate that this is real and I am with you. Okay? And I would never get it looked at. There you go. Right? And he said, I told you it was no big deal. But it's so important. It's so important for you to know that, and to know that his soul has never left you and that it is okay. And I do have his shoes. Validating that this is real. Validating that his soul is with you. And validating that how he passed does not affect his level of peace on the other side or his ability to communicate with you. Okay? So important. So important. And just back to, I want to finish a thought because he moves fast, is that because our souls are so present, it does trick our brain sometimes into forgetting that he's not in physical form. Okay? And then what we do as humans, we go, ugh, how awful am I? How awful is it that I forgot that one of the most important people in my life is past? No. It's a gift. It is a compliment that his soul is so present and so consistent with you, it can trick your brain. Okay? So we take that and we say, thanks for being here, Dad. Thanks for being here. I don't know if you are, is that Moncton? Are you guys thinking about going to Moncton, or are we planning a trip? Or how do you understand the Moncton? So this would be just his way of validating. And it's interesting because he keeps giving me the green check mark. And so meaning like, yeah, go for it. Do it. This will be good. Okay. My daughter's heading there for a plane. Perfect. Bringing your daughter into the reading, validating that he's there with her, watching over her life and knowing what is happening. Okay. And so validating that he's not missing a thing, not missing a thing, not missing a thing, not missing a thing. Okay. Christy, are you still here? Christy Bay. Lizzie, I'm going to leave that with you. I am going to have to get off shortly. I just want to see if Christy is still here. Because I have, perfect. I see you there. You're so welcome. You're so welcome. We're doing a class this evening in my private Divinely Connected community, all on the narrative. What story are you telling yourself, and what this inner narrative, these limiting beliefs, and how it can dictate and show up in your life, even if you're not even catching it. So if you want to join my community, we do lots of fun stuff over there, classes and readings and Zooms, and the link is in my bio. Link is in my bio. Christy, yes. So your partner, longtime partner, were you guys together? Because he just said husband. I was like, okay. So were you guys like long-term relationships, or how do you understand that? Or is he being funny? 10 years on and off. Okay. So this is him validating the significance of the relationship and the value that he holds. You guys have shared children. You have, yeah, he's being funny. Do you have children with him? And are you in the new relationship? He has 2 with his ex. Okay. So are you in communication with the children? Because he wants me to reference something. He keeps wanting me to give you like the thumbs up, which is like giving approval, right? And so if we're communicating with him, he's saying, I know of it, thank you. If we're not, he's saying, it's okay. You know what I mean? There's something to do with that. He also then references, perfect. He also then references the new relationship. So if you're not in the new relationship, I'm interpreting that as you will be shortly or soon. And it's him giving you the blessing. He wants you to have love in this life. He wants you to be taken care of. And it's interesting because he's just starting to get like, he can be sentimental and he can be serious, but it takes him a hot minute to get there. Right? Because at first he goes, oh, but nobody's as good as me. No, she's not going to love me. She's not going to be as good as me. But then he says, you know what? He's going to treat her better than I did. And so he needs you to know that he's sorry. He shows me he had a lot of his own shit. He had a lot of his own shit. There was some deep worry. There was some deep inability to allow himself to be happy. And Christy, what he said is that you just loved him anyways. You just loved him. Spot on. Perfect. And he says, thank you. And he makes me very emotional, Christy, because he said because of you, he learned unconditional love in this life. He had to earn love with everybody else. And so it was always a transaction. And so that's really how it kind of messed things up for you. The two of you, because you just saw the good in him and wanted to love him, right? And he had all of this other from childhood, from previous lovers, from disloyal friendships. Like there was a lot of layers. And he's saying, that was on me. That was on me. That was never on you, Christy. And I'm sorry. Oh my God. I'm sorry for how that has reflected onto you. Oh my God, I have chills from head to toe. Chills from head to toe. Christy, do you have the chills? Or because I said, you better be hugging her. And he goes, I just moved through her. So whatever you felt, perfect. That was his soul with you. And it's interesting as well, Christy, because he says to me that it's almost because of the complicated nature of the relationship, it's almost like you regulate yourself of your level of grief. It's like, no, you loved him. The love was real. The love was real. It was complicated, absolutely. But never to feel like you're not, how do I say that? It's like sometimes we don't know our place. Well, if I was the wife, okay, I would be allowed to be devastated. Like, you know what I mean? But it doesn't matter. I feel him all the time in my darkest hours. Know that he's there. He's returning the favor. You loved him unconditional. Now he's loving you unconditional. And he's helping you through this. Okay, I don't know who the female is that you have a falling out with or complicated relationship with. Like, are we no longer talking to a sister, or there's something that complicated that he wants to acknowledge as a validation to validate that he's with you, that he loves you, and that he's helping. Okay, so wherever this complicated or this parting away or this conflict is for you, it's his way of acknowledging it, validating, and knowing that he is supporting you and that you have the right to feel the way that you feel because of the love that you two have. Okay? There's complications connected to paperwork is what he says. Complications connected to paperwork. So I don't know if this is like there was no will, or we had shared assets, or something unrelated to him that he's validating that you're waiting on. Maybe we're waiting on getting something approved, or we're waiting for paperwork to come back, or legal things, however you understand that. He says it feels like there's no progress, but before you know it, boom, there it is. Okay, and so just wanting to bring through that validation that this situation may feel overwhelming or feel like it's getting nowheres. Do you understand this, Christy? And it's his way of wanting to validate that he's helping in all the ways that he can on the other side. That's my grandma's will and fighting with my aunts. There you go. So there's this feeling of no progress. There's this feeling of getting nowheres. And then he's saying that all of a sudden, do. Right? And so sister energy, auntie energy is very much the same for me. His way of validating it, helping you out, wanting to make sure that you know that there's more progress there that meets the eye. Okay? And he also says your stance with this and your heart with this is pure. meaning like you're in the right here, right? You're not the one being deceptive or being selfish, or, you know, he's validating, supporting you with your stance and where you're at. Okay. Also interesting. Do you have the tattoo of his name or his handwriting, or is this something that we think about, or how do you understand his handwriting or his name? He keeps just, I feel like I'm sitting here and I'm like doodling his name. So I'm like, are you showing me your name or are you showing me the handwriting? Like, what do you want me to say? So how do you understand that? I'm thinking about getting one of his name. Perfect. Perfect. How would I know that? Right? How would I know that? That's his way of saying, babe, I'm with you. It doesn't mean we have to go out and do it. Although I do see you getting it done, because he says that you're going to know for sure that he's there. But it's his way of validating, I hear the thoughts in your head. I feel the love in your heart. And I know how hard it has been for you and how complicated it has been for you because of the complicated nature of our relationship. And he keeps making me feel like I just don't know my place. But he's saying our love is real. That is your place. He also shows me the bluebird, like the blue jay. So that means two things. We either connect with the bird or like Blue Jays as in like the baseball team. Definitely the bird. Perfect. Using it as a validation. Validating that his soul is with you. Validating that he is okay. Do you still have his shirt? Like his long sleeve? So is that like a sweater or like a shirt? How do you understand that? Perfect. Validating that he's there with you. Validating that because he even says you smell him. Right? Validating that he's been showing you over and over and over and over again. I'm here, I'm here, I'm here, I'm here. And I'm going to be frank, Christy. It feels like you shoot down every sign that he gives you. So please stop doing that. Because I'll tell you why. It takes a lot of freaking energy. Right? And all of a sudden you smell him. That is real. It is not. Don't doubt it. 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 It takes, he's like, do you know how much work it takes me to bring you these things? And then you're choosing not to believe them. But you know that they're real. But this is what we do as humans, right? This is what we do as humans. We get our sign and symbol. We're all like, woo! And then a couple hours go by and it fades a little bit. And then 2 days go by and we forget. And then we go, I never get any signs or symbols, right? Like, you're not alone. We all do this. What I love about a physical symbol, so this is why I love dimes so much, right? Is because we go through that process. But every time, if we pick up the dime and we put it in a jar, you can get a fancy jar, you can just use a mason jar. You get it, you go through the process, excitement, forget, womp. But then you put the dime in the jar and all of a sudden you have 60 dimes in the jar. You know what I mean? And then it's a physical reminder. Oh, okay, yeah. Okay, I got 60 dimes from him. Thank you, right? And so this is something that we can do. Tell him that you want the dimes. Tell him that you don't want anything else but the dimes and you want them every day, right? And so just so that he knows what to give you and you know what to look for, and it builds a bit of confidence. And we can do that. Anybody can do that. You can tell each loved one, you can assign a certain sign to them and then say, you just use this, don't use anything else, so that I know that who it's coming from. I just saw a movie with a bird that was named after him. That was set free. Crazy girl. Crazy. And he's just like, he's like, I'm doing so good. It's like, yes, you are. And he is not someone that would have been cut dead talking to a medium in the physical life. And I'm not offended because they all eventually come and talk to me because they love yous so much. All right. I suffer with anxiety. Okay, hang on. I suffer from anxiety and depression, and he is the one that made me feel safe, and now I'm scared. No, babe. He's here. He can help you. in ways that he couldn't help you here in the physical form. He's there with you. You know what you can do? You can ask him in your angels, please take this anxiety away. Please help me be grounded. Please help me feel safe. They were there. He wants to help. He wants to help. He wants to help. Right? He's there taking care of you. This is why he was fighting with Lizzie's dad. It was like the two of them trying to come through a doorway at the same time, right? Trying to get here to make sure, and then made sure I came back to you, right? Made sure I came back to you so that you can have your message. And so Lizzie's dad and your partner did absolutely amazing coming through for you guys tonight. Now, if you two would like, you can inbox me. And I can get you a copy of this live. Most times I can download it and throw it up on YouTube for you so that you're able to watch back your messages. If that's something that you're interested in, for those who received messages on tonight's live, you just inbox me, remind me, because I am going into a class right now. If you're interested in learning, if you love like soul talk and spiritual development and just like human development, because you know it's hard being human, you feel free to go to the link in my bio, join my Divinely Connected community. This is a safe haven where we get to talk and share and grow together. And oh, thank you so much. I'm so glad that you're here. I keep saying that I'm going to try to find a regular schedule. I am new to TikTok, but I have been doing readings for over 10 years for the public, and I would love to find some harmony here with TikTok, but I'm not gonna lie, posting videos on TikTok is a little bit out of my comfort zone, but I love doing a live. You can't go wrong with just, you know, sharing messages from your departed loved ones. Don't forget to follow me over on my other platforms. Facebook is my main platform. I do daily cards, weekly guidance on Sundays. It goes up on my YouTube. Any last minute openings that I have, I usually throw on Facebook to say, hey, I have an opening within a couple of hours. If you are interested in getting a private session, my sessions open on the 1st of every month. So that would be this Sunday, would be March 1st at 10 a.m. Atlantic Standard Time. Set a reminder in your phone because they go very quickly, okay? And I go month to month. I do month to month. And so for March 1st, my availability for March opens. April 1st, my availability for April opens. And so just keep that in mind if you're looking for a private session. Have a great night, everyone.